Welcome to the show. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And here are the goods after 2 weeks.
Again.
We skip a week. We're just not good at consistency.
Obviously, we just need to skip this show every other week and just do other stuff.
But you know what we are good at?
What?
Actually doing the show, because this is our 100th episode.
Well, now you make me think of all the weeks that we skipped. What would we be?
This could probably be 150.
It probably could be. This is our 150 week. Too bad it's only our 100.
But this is actually our 100th episode, and we're gonna get into that a little bit later, but let's start it off with the box office. And Halloween continues to slash up the competition.
I mean, it's Halloween. Why would it not? That would be a sad thing if it wasn't.
Very true, but 32 million, a 50% more or less drop off from first week to second week. Not bad though.
I mean, it's average what a normal film would do in its first week to second week. So actually a little bit disappointing, because it's closer to Halloween. You figured that it would keep that momentum and maybe even do less of a drop off, but I mean, it's not like it got bad reviews, and it made good money in the first week, so.
Well, you're looking at about $126 million so far domestically, about 176 worldwide. Now, you talk about the reviews, there are a majority of them have been really good.
Yeah.
So that's helping Blumhouse, and the fact that it's only made for, what, $10 million?
Blumhouse budget, $350.
Give Blumhouse everything.
Yeah.
Just give Blumhouse everything.
Budgets are so tiny, anytime anybody goes sees a movie, that's always a profit.
Yes.
We got 3 people, we made a profit.
Yeah, and you know what? It's doing really good internationally too. So you're gonna more than likely see another freaking Halloween.
Next Halloween.
Now you saw it.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I actually liked the movie.
Give me real quick what you thought about it.
So I don't do real quick, by the way. I actually liked the.
Well, let's talk about like 5 drinks in.
Okay, so I have. That's messed up. I actually liked the movie. The only problem I had with was the end. And I thought maybe that there was an extra character that didn't need to be there. Like either get rid of the daughter or get rid of the granddaughter. One of them didn't need to be there.
I thought when you're looking at it generational, I think it was important to have, because you're looking at PTSD from a standpoint of Jamie Lee Curtis, but then you also have the daughter and what she had to go through, and now what's going into her daughter.
20 years too late, and they should have done this particular movie with H2O.
This should have actually been H2O, but it's all right.
Done with it, because really, I didn't need both characters. It's like if I would have rather they focus on the daughter and her growing up in that lifestyle, then giving me more of the granddaughter. And if they were gonna do the granddaughter, then skip the mom altogether. Say something happened to the mom.
If you're looking at it from a standpoint as far as the future of the franchise, then I think establishing the granddaughter is important, because more than likely she's gonna take the torch after,
so then you didn't need
this.
a daughter.
No, I think that you did. I think you really did, because
for that one scene where she actually did something.
No,
one scene where she actually
when it comes to the character,
that one scene.
When it comes to the character depth, the depth of Jamie Lee's character, you're gonna need Judy Greer's character. I think that's my opinion. One scene. All right, number 2 was A Star Is Born, continuing to do really well.
That's because of Lady Gaga fans or because of Janis Joplin fans.
Oh, how about the fact that it's a freaking damn good movie? How about that?
Fans.
It's a damn good movie.
I mean, yeah, because we saw it with Bette Midler.
It was Barbara Streisand, but
whatever.
100.
Oh, we gotta watch the movie.
148 million. 148 million to date. $14 million. First of all, this thing came out early October, and it is still at number 2. You got to give some props here.
I mean, what's this competition?
Well, we'll get into the competition right now.
Halloween is this competition.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
But besides that, what's 3 through 5?
We'll get into that right now. Number 3, Venom. Venom was 10 million, 186 domestically, 500 million worldwide.
I'm actually surprised that it's still in the top 5. I thought maybe it would be petering out. We may see it at number 5 and get ready to be out of the top 5 going into next week. But hey, it might be sticking around.
You're looking at it from, you know, you got these comic eyes on this, right? You know, everybody's a big old comic fan right now.
We still don't know why Spider-Man was in it.
So you know, true, but it's like helping the Spider-Man Into the Universe that's coming out in December. So that's tying into that right there.
Okay.
You know, you got a lot of nods to, because the post-credit scene is Spider-Man Into the Universe, into Spider-Verse. You know, and that supposedly.
Would you call it a post-credit, or would you just call it a trailer? Because it seems like it's just a trailer.
I call it a post-credit. It's a scene. It's not a trailer. It's an actual scene. More than likely going to be in the movie. But it looks like that's going to be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. which is ironic considering that Venom was introduced in Spider-Man 3. So that's why I kind of like, you know, I think that.
I say it's a trip.
Okay, never mind. All right. I'm looking forward to Woody Harrelson. I really want to see Woody Harrelson as Carnage in the second one, because you know it's going to be part 2.
I hope they change his hair. I don't want to do that curly thing that they did at the end of it. So
why not?
It was ridiculous.
Carrot Top. All right.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Carrot Top.
Number 4. Okay, now this was pretty disappointing, but I could understand. Now you got. This past weekend was pretty tough. Mm-hmm. You got, like here in San Antonio, you had the Alamo City Comic Con.
Right.
You had Halloween parties galore.
Right.
And then you also had everybody shopping at, like, you know, Party City or Spirits. I mean, those stores were packed this weekend.
Right.
So nobody went to the movies. So it's kind of tough to really go out. So Hunter Killer had no chance whatsoever to do anything.
Dude, by the way, back up. Halloween or not, nobody was going to go see Hunter Killer.
Hunter Killer
we saw this movie already before when it's called Hunter
for Red October.
Nobody was gonna go see this movie.
The Hunter for Red October Killer. Either way, they did not. They should have just named it that. But $8 million.
I would have saw that movie.
$8 million, and even though you had Gary Oldman, you know, fresh off his Oscar for Darkest Hour, whatever it is. I think that's what it's called, right? The Darkest Hour.
You won an Oscar.
You won an Oscar, Darkest Hour. Anyway. But even though he was in it, just I don't know, man. Nobody likes Butler. Nobody likes Gerard Butler.
He's not picking the right films. That's what it is. He's not picking the right films.
Well, you got. I mean, Geostorm. You go from Geostorm to Hunter Killer,
dude. The 300 Part 3. Come on, let's get that done.
Give me 303. Give me.
Get that done. I'm ready to see that film. Gerard, I will support you when you do that film.
Well, Hunter Killer did. You know, it sunk pretty bad. So number 4. So number 5 was Goosebumps at $7 million.
How is that still making money?
I don't know either. But you know, like I said before, Halloween, the weekend before Halloween.
Everything's pretty much adult rated. So this is the only.
Right. This is the only kids film. So let's try to get some exposure there with that. Which exposure in kids that forget it. Anyway, so you got.
So you got. Have any comments? The Goods channel at gmail.com.
So you know, a little bit more of a time to go ahead and capitalize on that a little bit. It didn't do much. It really does suck that Jack Black was not really featured heavily in this, because I think that would have made a difference. But 37
in the house.
In the house, I know. The Goosebumps house in the
What would have been funny if they both had come out at the exact same time and people had to decide, like, is this part 2 or part 3 or what was that?
Yeah, because that one had like killer pumpkins and all that
it
too.
Was like, so I wish they had done that.
37 million worldwide, no Jack Black till the end. All right. Okay, so this week's Halloween competition is going to be Bohemian Rhapsody.
All right.
Now this is the Queen bio.
Right. The one that doesn't feature Sacha Baron Cohen.
Right. Why would you say that?
Because he was originally up for this role.
Is he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was originally up. Dude, you wouldn't have wanted to see him as Freddie Mercury?
No, because I'd be looking at Borat.
No! Oh my God.
I'd be seeing Borat.
It's like Freddie Mercury without the haircut, dude. Come on.
Anyway,
so he turned the role down because they wanted to focus more on what Queen did after Freddie Mercury died. And he didn't want to do it. He was like, no, the story is Freddie Mercury. And they didn't want to do that because all the money that's being backed by this and the script and stuff is approved by the rest of Queen. So he didn't want to do that. So they cast somebody else, and he couldn't do his own movie because they held the license, to all the music, and it was like nobody's gonna. We already saw the movie with Andre 3000 that couldn't use Jimi Hendrix music. So and that movie sucked. Well, I mean, didn't suck. He would have been a great Jimi Hendrix if he'd actually had the music. But anyway, so he couldn't do the movie the way he wanted to do the movie. So he dropped out. They cast somebody else. So. The trailers kind of made me want to see it, but I really would have liked it.
But the way the trailer looks, it looks like they went that route anyway. It looks like they went everything, before.
Well, maybe that's why they get you in there, and it's only like 15 minutes of the movie, and then the rest is like, oh my God, I wish Freddie Mercury was still here. We have to go on.
Well, right now the reviews are like kind of going back and forth. Everybody's praising Rami Malek's performance as Freddie Mercury, but that the movie sucks, and that the music is great.
Sasha, you made a good choice.
But the music sucks. So, can Halloween hold on?
So this is basically the Tupac movie, basically.
Oh God, don't say that. That movie was horrible.
What you just described.
That movie
the music was great.
Horrible.
The movie sucked.
The music was great. The actor was great. Will Halloween repeat?
Yes.
You think Halloween's gonna repeat, even though
it's gonna be close?
It's over. The Halloween's over.
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close.
I honestly think Bohemian Rhapsody is gonna beat it, like barely beat it. That's my prediction.
But I think you'll be talking about Halloween's still there after Halloween.
Other opening is the Nutcracker and the Four Realms.
Nobody wants to see it.
Nobody does because Disney doesn't
too early
even
for that movie.
But Disney doesn't even have. They're not even like heavily marketing this thing or anything
because they know it's bad. It's too early for this movie. You got to do like mid-November for this movie.
Yeah. Even though it has, you know, Morgan Freeman and Helen Mirren, I mean, you got some good people there.
When's the last time you went to see Morgan Freeman?
All right, so Halloween's beating it up, of course, in the box office. So let's go with slashers here. So now we're talking about slashers. It's beating it right. It's beating everybody right now. It is already past Scream as the biggest slasher movie of all time.
I mean, how do you quantify that? It's like, does it have to be somebody with a knife, or is it just like horror in general? Because it can't.
Are you saying that Scream is not a slasher movie?
No, I'm just saying it's like the biggest slasher film. I'm talking about thinking about all the other slasher films. What can do they have to have a knife?
Box office wise, this is.
Do they have to have a knife?
They can have a knife, a freaking fire
what
poker.
about all the other great horror films that have come out so far since then?
Financially, Halloween right
Still
now is the top grossing slasher movie. It's not a slasher movie. It's a horror movie, but it's not a slasher. Yes.
Okay.
Did Pennywise really have a knife and slash people and kill them and kill them hard with the freaking, you know, bashing their face and all that shit?
I mean,
no, he ate them. It's different.
You can see all that happened down in the tunnel.
Anyway, so
maybe he had a knife. I don't know.
All right, so knowing that this movie is such a big success, does this mean that the slasher movie is back?
I don't think it really went anywhere. I just think what they were doing for quite some time is that they were just putting a mask on everybody and trying to make it catch.
No pun intended.
What?
So no pun intended. Putting a mask on.
They were just throwing a bunch of things at the wall to see if that character would just kind of pick up. But if you think about stuff like Happy Death Day, that was a slasher film, was it not?
Yeah. Modest hit. Modest hit.
It got a sequel.
Wasn't it from Blumhouse too?
Yeah, it got a sequel, which is doing the exact same thing. It's like if they'd done a Groundhog's Day 2.
But it has not.
So would you say that I mean, that's a slasher film? It did well. I mean, that came out before this, and
but it did not. But it did not do that. I mean, because the Happy Death Day did about 100, maybe 110, 100. You know, it did over 100. Maybe
Happy Death Day 2.
Yeah, but it's not to you. Happy Death Day 2. But it's not. But it is not. It is not anywhere near, and this is only second week, and it's at 176 worldwide.
But your point is this movie bringing back slashers?
Yeah, even more.
I say that it
never went anywhere.
Yeah, it never went anywhere. It's just that they just threw a bunch of crap that nobody cared about.
Give me the slasher movie that was pretty decent financially outside of Happy Death Day. Outside of Happy Death Day. Yeah, give me another one. Give me one that actually did something, because the last time that I remember is Scream 4. That was in 2011.
That was quite some time ago.
And then after that, you got into all of the paranormal stuff. So you got into Paranormal Activity, you got into Insidious.
Just away from it is your point.
Yeah, the horror that's been exposed to everybody out there right now is predominantly paranormal. It is all it's not slasher. It's you know, stuff that's supernatural and all that.
We
stuff.
did go through a bunch of reboots. We had the Halloween reboot. We had the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot. It was like, since then we had a bunch of reboots. Then nobody really gave a chance, but we had all the other ones where everybody had a different mask. And a lot of stuff that went direct to video. I don't think we really had anything to actually say. And then all the Saw and the Final Destination things that came out, stuff like that. There was no real slasher.
I don't consider that slasher.
I know, but
that's like torture porn.
There was no real slasher films out there.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. And
that doesn't mean that they brought it back.
And the ones, but I'm talking about like in the limelight where studios and film producers are actually going to look at it as you know, this subgenre film that's going to actually do something and make them money to where they're going to want to make it more, just like they did in the 80s. So I'll get to it right now in a minute. Halloween in 1978 pretty much, you know, spawned a crapload of knockoffs. Now anybody can argue whether or not Psycho was the one that started it all, but when it comes to commercial, I honestly think that Halloween is the one that started it all. After that, you got all the knockoffs like freaking Prom Night, My Bloody Valentine, and then Friday the 13th probably being the most successful out of the whole series as far as
successful knockoff.
The most successful knockoff, exactly. So now, with that being said, can you see any of the old horror icons making a comeback? Which one do you want to see?
Dude, we're gonna get another Friday the 13th.
Okay, so that's the one you want to see?
I don't know if I want to see it. But
well, which is the one you want to see? That's what I'm asking you.
There's none I really want to see. They fell by the wayside because they weren't good.
You wouldn't want to see another Friday the 13th, or not Friday the 13th, but like another Hellraiser or well, they're gonna have another Child's Play. So Hellraiser?
Yeah. No.
I don't know. She did hit the dude with a hammer in the face. I don't know.
In
Maybe.
Child's Play, it's like that stuff's direct to video right now. It's basically Chucky. They don't even call it Child's Play anymore. As a matter of fact, I just showed my kids Child's Play just because I was like, stop watching these Chucky films. Watch Child's Play.
Cult of Chucky was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Just the ending sucked. That's why they. All right. Anyway, so no, you don't want to see any of them.
I mean, give me something interesting and I'll think about it.
All right. Well, one that is
Bring back
possibility.
Pumpkinhead.
You know what? I'm down for that. But a good Pumpkinhead, like because part 2 and the rest of it.
Give me a remake of The Gate. These are all movies I just watched this weekend.
Okay, are you talking because they had crappy effects and now this with effects now would be better?
Like, think about the little clay monsters that they had.
Well, then give me Gremlins or Ghoulies then.
I don't know that.
Give me Critters.
I don't know that. Ooh, Critters.
I go Critters. Yes, we did. All right, so Elm Street is now possibly in the mix. Okay, so
Again.
Yes. Robert Englund has pretty much retired the character of Freddy Krueger after Freddy versus Jason.
And they were like, Robert,
let me. After Freddy versus Jason, Robert Englund pretty much said it was done. 2010, Jackie Earle Haley comes in, steps into the role, does not really do anything because he's too short. So he's like, Freddy's like fighting somebody. He's like,
by the way, he's a
so it doesn't work. Jackie Earle Haley
monster. Who cares? Short.
It still doesn't look right. She's so little when he's all there.
It's a dream.
All right. Anyways,
You make it bigger in the dream.
True.
Haley, I want to see you.
But he doesn't do anything. Anyway, so. Recently, Robert Englund was on the Halloween episode of the Goldbergs, and having all of that makeup on and going through that whole experience in the makeup chair and doing all that
He wants to do it.
stuff on camera, he's got one more. He stated he's got one more Freddy film in him.
Like, I got some bills.
And Comic-Con ain't paying no more.
Write me that check.
So he's got one more, but he's not the only one. Heather Langenkamp now.
Nah, I want to see her.
Heather Langenkamp now.
I stop you now. I don't want to see her.
You know, you see Jamie Lee Curtis, and she's bringing back. You know, Jamie Lee Curtis is the original straight-up #1 scream queen. Some would argue of all time. You know, her mom, Janet Leigh, was kind of, you know, towards the end of Psycho, but I would think it's her.
Okay.
I think she's the #1 of all time. But anyway, so I would probably put Heather Langenkamp as #2 of the Scream Queen from the Scream Queen. That's my opinion.
So are you asking me if I want to rank her or if I want to see her back? Because I don't want to see her.
You don't want to see her back.
See her back.
Okay, well, she wants in.
Too bad. Not Terrence's. Not Terrence's Nightmare on Elm Street, because he ain't coming back.
If they follow the same formula that Halloween followed, and they pretty much
like later on.
No, they pretty much discredit all of
two through
two through Freddy versus Jason. And they start from Elm Street straight to the real Freddy versus Jason Part 2 or whatever, and Freddy versus Jason. No, I mean Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2.
I like that one. By the way.
What?
I like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, by the way.
It was okay. It was okay. Anyway, all right. If they do that, and this is the real Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, one, I would be kind of pissed off because Dream Warriors is my favorite Elm Street of all of them.
Okay.
Judges, Elm Street 3. Dream Warriors is the best Elm Street in my opinion. But anyway, so you got so that's gone. Okay. Dream Master's gone. All the other ones are gone. How would you think it would affect? Like, how would it affect you if you just went straight from Nightmare on Elm Street '84 to Nightmare on Elm Street, let's say 2020?
She ain't dreamed in 26 years? 46 years? Well, how long has it been? Wait, what's the math on that?
1984 to 2020.
It's like,
what is it? Is that 26 years? 36 years?
20-something years, dude. It's like when she ain't had a dream in like 4 decades.
Maybe she was in Hypnocil. She freaking suppressed everything, and now it's coming back.
At least with Halloween, they said he was in jail. What are you going to explain for Freddy? He's like, oh, I'm that recurring nightmare that happens every 4 decades.
I'm like childhood trauma.
That's what I'm talking about. 4 decades.
So
no.
So no on the Elm Street. You're not buying it.
I would rather see a Freddy vs. Jason 2 before I saw her in another damn movie.
Now here's the thing that gets me with that. All right. One is the way Elm Street 1 ended. You can't really tell whether it was dream or real.
Right.
And if it is real, then that means Johnny Depp is still alive. Would Johnny Depp come back?
How did he look? It had to be.
Do you think
how did he gonna come? He was a blood pool, man.
I'm just saying.
This ain't gonna work.
So he is not coming back. All right. So Johnny Depp is not coming back.
Johnny Depp would come back, and I would go see it if Johnny Depp was in the movie.
Cool. Well, maybe we'll see that. Speaking of Ryan Reynolds, he's shooting new scenes for Deadpool 2. Well, actually, it's Deadpool 2.5
because of the Christmas one.
Because of the Christmas one. So the Deadpool before Christmas with the PG-13, they're actually shooting new scenes for this. It's still going to be released in December.
I can't wait to show my kids this film.
They're still shooting, and you know what? A lot of parents feel that way, and I think that's why the studios are doing this, because they want everybody to go see it during the holidays. So they're going to shoot brand new scenes, or they're shooting brand new scenes. They're not done yet. They're going to add, it's pretty much Deadpool 2.5,
right?
Completely new things. So
it's edited for television, is what
pretty much, yeah. One,
Deadpool edited for television.
Here's my question. One, is it still canon?
I would think so.
Two, is it a sneaky way to see if Deadpool will work in a PG-13 MCU?
I don't think they're worried about MCU. I just wondered if they're worried about if we can release the next Deadpool as a PG-13 film so we can get more money.
You don't think that Fox's merger with Disney has anything to do with this?
No.
Because they're afraid of how the character of Deadpool will mix into the MCU.
They've already included a bunch of people from the Fox universe for the X-Men in this, which we know will not get.
But they were not vulgar the way Deadpool is.
No, I'm saying like they introduced those characters in this universe. So Xavier and so McAvoy was there, and why can't I think of Magneto right now?
Fassbender.
Thank you. Fassbender was there. Beast was there. Everybody was there. So they said they basically said this is our universe that we're in. So you're gonna recast all those characters when it gets to the MCU, right?
No.
Yeah, they are.
That's why you're not gonna. But you're not gonna recast Ryan Reynolds. There's no way in hell you're gonna recast Ryan Reynolds.
Recast him. And
that is why I say that they're making this to see how his version of this character is going to.
No, okay. All this is about is
we shall see. I think that's the sneaky way for Disney to get in there and let's see if this will work.
Deadpool 3 will be PG-13, so that way they can double their profits as far as the box office.
Whatever.
Whatever.
So 100 episodes of this going on. And back in October of 2015, more or less, November of 2015, we started this. Didn't even think it was going to do anything. He was bugging the hell out of me to do this show. I didn't want to do it. He thought about the "you don't hate" thing. He threw it at me. You don't hate this movie, man. We're going to defend these movies. First episode came out.
Wow, wait up.
This was, I'm going to piss on you. But it turned out to be actually a freaking great thing. The "you don't hate" idea was great. The podcast in general has been great. Has some awesome freaking times, awesome memories. Yeah. We actually started this in my first house, and we were in the garage in there. Yeah, we were in the garage in there. Didn't know what to expect. Aspen threw on the camera. We just started talking. It was really bad. So you go back to look at Goods episode 1, which we're wearing the same things, by the way.
Do I look fat?
I am fat, but anyway. Yeah, so that didn't know what to expect on that. But we've had some good times there. We had some transitions there. We went from my house to the garage to the boom room here. So
best moments?
Best moments. Give me your best moments.
My best moments
so far of the 100 episodes. Now it doesn't matter if it's goods or just in general.
My best moments of the show itself. What's appeared on video, I guess, outside of the stuff that we've actually cut out. My best moments. Aspen's freakouts. They're the best things ever. And I wish you could be here for them because it's comedy gold.
Some of them made the goods and bads and the uglies.
Some of them made them. Some made the bloopers at the end of videos, but they're the best things ever. The best things. Oh my God. Aspen, get over here.
Do you have a favorite episode?
My favorite episode is the ghost one that you give hard crap about all the time. Where he picked Ghost in his time.
Oh yeah, that was pretty bad.
I like that one. Or the WTF or oh God, I can't even think of the name of the title of the video.
With the clam? The beaver?
That's your favorite.
No, the beavers, that's actually hilarious. No. The beaver one is funny.
But anyway, Aspen's my favorite moment.
Okay, my favorite moment is probably the all of the outtakes and the bloopers and everything that, and you can check them out on the Goods, the Bads, and the Uglies. We have 3 of them out there. So, but a lot of that, the chocolate salsa bit was hilarious to me.
You beat that to death.
I beat that to death. But the chocolate salsa, if you take a look at it, it's just hilarious. Now, we were actually out of commission for like 2 or 3 weeks because he actually hurt himself. He knocked out his teeth.
I broke 2 of my teeth.
So he couldn't perform. So, but when he was finally back, I just thought about the chocolate salsa tag team here, and that was just like one of my favorite moments in the whole freaking thing.
Have you guys ever heard this? Or that when I talk is because my front two teeth aren't real.
My favorite episode is, well, I have a couple. I mean, I'm very fond of episode 5 when we were talking about the Hasbro universe. But the bloopers on that was just freaking fun. I had so much fun on that episode.
The stuff that we don't try to do well is the stuff that you actually like.
Yeah.
That's good.
Now here's the one that we did do well and I actually really do like, and that's episode 9 when we were talking about not saving Matt Damon. It was like it cost
so much money.
It's like it cost so much money to fucking save Matt Damon. So when he gets in trouble, leave his ass there.
There you go.
Like $500 million to save him on The Martian. Like,
I mean, they should have just left him
there
and paid to get a memorial done for him.
Yeah, he's a hero. He already made like crops and shit on the freaking. Have fun. He castawayed that shit.
That is the John Cena.
All right.
Worst moments.
Worst. John. Special guest John Cena. You can't see him. All right. Worst moments. Go ahead.
All right. Worst moments is all the crap I got from Batman being number 5 on my top 5 list. I'm still right. I'm still right.
Top 5 superheroes.
I am still
and he's
right.
got Batman at 5.
I don't know why I got so much crap about that. I am still right. Batman's number 5.
My worst, in all honesty, is episode 10 when we're talking about the Oscar so white. We got so political on that. I hated that. I can't watch it to this day.
You know, we cut out a lot of political stuff that we do just because we don't want to be that type of show. We like it to be fun and just kind of like get you out of that particular mode. So every time we get political, you guys never see it because we end up cutting it out.
Yeah, we cut it out or we just don't record. We just stop recording. But that one we actually kept. And there's a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor that made it that were kind of like really intense. And we cut it out, or he cut it out, but I hate that show. I can't stand that show. And what's funny is that like the rest of it's actually good, except for that one. I like that. Top shows for surprisingly is Terrence's Ray Theory 2000,
wrong,
which was very wrong, but you never know.
I'm hoping that it.
Episode 9 still around there, so you're coming up next year.
Ryan Johnson?
No, it is not.
Oh, dang it.
So, but it's made by Abrams.
Oh, so he actually might make.
Yeah. So his theory, his Ray's parents' theory is at 2,000 views plus. So that's like the highest video.
But by the way, we're forgetting all the Mia Khalifa things that are still.
I was about to say that. And then second is, which I thought are hilarious, are the freaking Mia Khalifa videos that we did. Those were so much fun. Those were freaking hilarious. And the Wong decision, that was funny as hell.
You need to grow some boobs so that way we can get more views.
Yes, we can. I will too. But anyway, so Terrence and Art, why don't you tell us your favorites and your worst moments? My
favorite memory of our 100th episode is me and Dad's You Don't Hate Halloween 3.
Wait, y'all did that?
Yeah. Sorry, Terrence. My second one is when me and Terrence did
Terrence and I.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Oh yeah.
Those are probably like my 2 favorite moments. Because they were really dynamic. We all we both studied and we were both on the same page, and you know.
You did your research that time.
You know what? I don't appreciate you.
All right, my favorite is messing with Aspen. No, I'm just.
Well, she said her favorite was when you didn't show up.
It's true. I would say my favorite would be when the 3 of us first did the Kumite. Favorite episode. Because that turned into a conversation that the 3 of us would have had anyway, on or off camera. We'd just be. But then it tied into how you and Terrence really are on the same page with a lot of movies, so that's why top 5 sometimes doesn't.
And you complained and moaned all through the whole thing because nobody was on your side.
Yeah, that's true. Because you were supposed to be the moderator and the tiebreaker, but everything was going with whatever Terrence would say.
I think your side.
On the second Kumite, second and third.
Oh my God, those are great moments.
Wow, that's amazing.
No, I can't believe they felt that way about that. Was those particular things that happened on those shows.
I know, and Art's an idiot. All right, so hey, we really appreciate you guys, supporting us for these last 100 episodes, plus the countless other videos that we do, from You Don't Hate to WTFs to top 5s. which he's already taken to. Now, the WTS and the Top 5s were actually closeout shows that he took out to make them their own shows. So now I have to think about something else.
You're still upset about
I am still upset about that. But anyway, Terrence, take us home.
All right, so I assume that if you're watching this portion of the video that you're actually a true fan, because nobody watches the video this far. So if you're still here with us and you haven't subscribed.
My dad does.
And you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe right now. And if you want to see these videos get better and possibly shorter, please make sure you contribute to our Patreon at patreon.com/thegoods because we have a lot of giveaways. We do t-shirts, movie posters, and a lot of other things like movies, DVDs, stuff like that because everybody still has a DVD player. Other than that, I'm done, sir.
All right. For Aspen, Art, wherever the hell they're at, I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And that was the goods. 100 episodes. You're a Libra, and Libras are spotlight getters. That's hilarious. That's the irony right there.
Is this legit what we wore the very first episode?
This is legitimately the very first thing we wore on episode 1. When we had, it was brought to our attention of, I hated that show. I can't stand that episode. Oh, ready?
Thanks.